You are watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tales from the Drive-Thru. Tales from the Drive-Thru, of course, being the series where I talk about my many exploits and adventures in the fast food industry. Today I go back to the traditional episode after the last episode being somewhat of a different format. I'm going back to my own personal stories working in fast food. So, I went back and watched some of the previous episodes to make sure I hadn't already done this story, which, as far as I can tell, I haven't, which I'm surprised I haven't, because it's actually a very funny story. It's another interesting customer. Basically, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, I used to mess with the customers when I'd take their order. And, I would say this was about maybe a year and a half ago. I had just seen The Room for the very first time, you know, the Tommy Wiseau movie. Awful movie, but that's kind of the point of watching it. Anyway, so I had just seen The Room, and there's the famous scene on the rooftops, where if you don't know, where he says, "Oh, hi, Mark," which I found fucking hysterical. So, when someone pulled up to the drive-thru, I said, "Oh, hi, Mark," instead of, you know, "Order when you're ready," or "Welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order?" some shit like that. I'm just like, "Oh, hi, Mark." This guy's reaction was the most unnatural reaction ever to that. He gets super fucking hostile. He's like, "Well, who's that then?" I'm like, "I'm sorry?" He's like, "Why'd you call me Mark?" I'm like, "What can I get for you today, sir?" He's like, "You shouldn't just call people Mark. How do you know I don't have a friend named Mark or something?" And I'm like, "What? Can I help you, sir?" And he's like, "I want to talk to your manager." I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm serious." It's like, dude, I just said, "Oh, hi, Mark." How is that offensive? It's like, whatever. So I got my manager, and of course, it's the crazy one from the I Cannot Serve You episode. I forget what I called him in that. I think I called him Diego. We'll call him that again. He goes by, so he comes up and he's like, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't him, actually. It was a different manager that was also pretty funny. One who worked the night shift, an older Hispanic lady. And she was like, okay, sorry, sir, okay. And then she talks to me, she's like, "He crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I don't know what's wrong with him." She said, and she's like, you call him Mark." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Crazy people." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." But, yeah, it was fucking weird, dude. Like, I don't know why someone would get that butthurt over me calling him Mark. Unless he had, like, a friend that just recently passed away named Mark or something like that. But even then, that's just ridiculous. I mean, it's fucking weird that he would fucking do that. Oh, and I remember he, like, part of the stuff he was bitching about is like, "Do you know my personal life? You want to try and get into my personal business?" I'm like, "No." It's like, dude. And I even told him it was a reference to a movie, and he got, like, super fucking butthurt still. I don't know what the hell was wrong with this guy, but it was something else. But, yeah. I guess that about does it for this story. I don't really know what else to say about it. It was just one interaction with one really butthurt customer. It reminds me kind of the straw guy I talked about before, and the smoky juicy guy from the first episode. But it's like, this was even less of a reason to get so fucking salty, but whatever. It was something else, and I honestly think that probably one of the more irritable customers I've ever dealt with. And, you know, it's because of people like that that I myself hate being a bitchy customer, because I know what it's like. And I hate it when you get a bitchy customer like that, and they're just so pissed off for no explicit reason. But I think that about wraps it up for today's episode of Tales from the Drive-Thru. What did you guys think? Anyone have any suggestions? Of course, I'm always open. If you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know, etc., etc. And if you guys have a great day, then that would be fantastic. And, yeah, I think that does it. I'm just kind of rambling on at this point. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time with more stories and other stuff that I decide to do.